Hello everybody and welcome to this, your Gemini April 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Well, I have a great deck for you this month full of esoteric imagery, which I'm sure you are going to enjoy. Now, in an earlier I'd forgotten I had this deck, and it was in the bottom of a box, and I only just found it. So I thought, well, I'll use it. Now, to the extent that I hadn't used it before, this popped out, and it's got the back of the card here. But it's see, I never knew what the deck was called. I think one of my children gave it to me. Came from a flea market, so it would have been my daughter, who's the queen of bargain hunting. And this is actually signed. It's called Tabula Mundi Tarot from 2016, M.M. Meline, and it's signed. It's a deck that's been signed by her, and she has put it down as an edition called Coloris Arcus II. So I assume that's what the card is, and what a great find that it's actually been signed by the developer of the deck, which is it's a good thing, isn't it? Now, you know, of course, that I provide, I love all the esoteric imagery that's in these things. I mean, I'm a Gemini Rising, and so my mind is always, like yours, searching for this or that. Now, you know, of course, that I provide clairvoyant readings to people from anywhere in the world, and they happen over FaceTime and Skype, and the details of those of which are in the description. Now, they go for about 90 minutes, sometimes longer, and if you're interested in those, just check out the description at the end of the video. And I charge for them, I have to, because I've got expenses like everybody else. But it's another thing which I offer to you for free, and happily so, without any charge, no obligation, nothing expected in return. And it's the gift of healing. Now, the gift comes through me and not from me, and where it comes from, well, you can put two and two together, I'm sure. Nothing special about me. I just turned out that I'm a person through whom this thing happens to work. And so you might find that you're just at the end of your tether about something. There may be things from your childhood which have gone through you, or you may be feeling just disconnected or at the end of your tether, or just unsure about what's going on in your life. Now, the compassion and the relief comes through, and as I say, it can go for 3/4 of an hour at least, but sometimes a bit longer, as I say. Now, and it's for free, nothing, and you won't get hit with emails or anything afterwards by me or any mailing list or anything like that. I can't stand that. Now, the thing is this, is that if this is calling to you, then take advantage of it, because hundreds of people have done so through this channel. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the entire reading without interruption. So let's get things underway, shall we? There's the Six of Discs, got to be a good card for you. There's the Empress. Now, there is the Hebrew letter in there. I know, of course, I spent some time studying Hebrew. Because you do, don't you? And there's the Seven of Wands in the center. You're going to love this. You'll see it in just a moment. There's the Chariot. That looks like another Hebrew letter there. And there's the Ace of Discs. Wonderful. Right. Why don't you come and sit down here next to me? I'll also bring the camera around so everybody else can see. And you and I can have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while the cosmic energies swirl and speak to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. The feeling of you going through gates, doorways, passages on towards success here. I'll just show you what the back of these cards looks like, only because it's quite interesting. Hey, check this out. There's this word here, abrahadabra. Now, there was a junkie called Aleister Crowley years ago who said that abrahadabra was the magic word, and not, as we remember as children, abracadabra, but I don't really take much of what Crowley says, having read his works. They're very juvenile, I think, very childish, and it wasn't helped by the fact that he was a poor wretch of a heroin addict and opium and coke addict as well. I'm really drawn to this first card here, really for all the girls, but The men, remember, in spirit there is no gender, there's no male or female, and here on earth we have both principles. They are just expressed differently due to anatomy and psychology, and it never hurts to understand what's going on in the lives of our daughters, our sisters, our partners, wives, or mothers, as the case may be. Here we have very much the symbol of Venus associated with it. It turns up there as well. Pomegranates, fertility everywhere around here. Here is the moon and bees, of course, which are associated with Venus, and the three stems of wheat here as well, which also refer to fertility. This sign of Venus, of course, is the most occult and mysterious of planets. And it can be very much associated with not only just beauty and relationship, but it's also associated very much with wanting the good things in life and submerging itself into matter and everything to do with it. Venus, of course, is ruling the feminine sign of Taurus and the masculine sign of Libra. And some Libra men, it has to be said, can be players. Now, it's not surprising this has shown up in your reading this work here. Do you know, the Gemini women are among the most beautiful you will ever meet, of course. Here is a Hebrew letter there. That's the fourth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, being Dalet. Now, I'm not a Jewish person by religion or upbringing myself. It's just that I'm a geek, and so I get into all these different things, you see. Now, actually, Dalet here is the word for door and gate. And it really says to you that at this time, resistance and the state of selflessness and humility will be needed to get through doors to go on to success. And also says how to pass through the gates, to know your own mystery of being and try to return to the source. It's in the shape of a bent over man, really, this thing, isn't it? So that also signifies humility and receptiveness. And it also speaks to structure. And I think at this time, Dalet, D, if you have that letter D or the sound D in your name, this is a month in which you'll be very willful and structured and determined to get ahead. On a prediction point of view, I think that you will be interested very much in beauty, love. There's a lot of motherliness here, femininity, a wisdom and a connection between spirit and matter. A lot of fertility. So if you're trying to fall pregnant, I suggest that this is probably a good time to do what's necessary to let this happen, because you'll also be fulfilling your potential. And there's opportunities coming to you which can lead to success financially. You know, this energy really in many respects commands the feminine in all of its forms, taking part in the harmony of her being itself. Now, her beauty, I don't think, is restricted only to the externally visible. Her femininity is fully evolved on all levels of her being, which is giving her and you a real radiance this month. She is a mother and a lover, a ruler and a magician at the same time, and her strength rests in unifying the highest spiritual values with the lowest material qualities. Now, I think that this is a time when you will be just getting in touch with the beauty of your life, perhaps exploring a relationship with your mother. You'll have a very empathetic and caring personality, and this is also reminding you that spirituality is expressed from the heart and not from the head. There'll be a great degree of self-nurturing for you at this time as well. I'm just looking at the interaction with these other cards. Now, this is very much, I said that this was really for the girls, didn't I? This is very much something which is coming up for the girls, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, everybody's a girl. I'm older than everybody. Now, this is for the girls who have the tendency to stay up at night listening to music that reminds them of their current situation, who hide their fears, their hurt, their pain, and their tears under the smiles, laughs, and giggles on a daily basis. The girls who wear their heart on their sleeve. The girls who pray that things will work out just once and that they'll be satisfied. The girls who scream and cry into their pillows because everybody else just fails to listen. The girls who have so many secrets but won't tell a soul. The girls who have mistakes and regrets as a daily occurrence. The girls that seem to never win. The girls that stay up all night thinking about that one boy and hoping that he'll notice her one day. The girls who take life as it comes. To the girls who are hoping that it will get better somewhere down the road. For the girls who love with all of their heart, although it always seems to get broken. To the girls who think that it's over. To real girls, to all girls, know this: you are important, you matter, and you are beautiful. Now, what was else around? Now, there's obviously something important that needs to be said as well here in the center. This is the Seven of Wands, all the fire associated with wands, and really this is about, I think, you having great inner strength. The astrology here indicated is that of Mars in Leo. Well, I would say that the energy of the suit of fire is weakened down here in the seven. And it's with the number 7. I have a mystical association with Venus, which is feminine energy. And that is kind of diluting the strength of the fire of the wands. Now, Mars normally gets on really well with Leo, but here we are down at the 7 ruled by Venus, so low down where there's a sort of a harmony that doesn't really exist. And, you know, frankly, the feminine energy of Venus doesn't sit well with Mars. And you might think that it is, at one point, although I see you coming out of it here, that it is pretty much your Mars energy that is all that is keeping you going. It feels perhaps for a moment here that you have been fighting a losing battle, but you do receive courage because you are going to be daring. You are going to make an impact coming from this. You will take risks, and I don't think that you are going to make any compromises at all. Now, Mars in Leo, well, that would normally indicate someone who acts with power and authority. Now here, you need to dig deep to allow that power, that authority, and those leadership qualities that have been foretold by that Empress card to come to the surface so that you can use them in what may seem to you to be a difficult situation, whether of the heart or things going on around you. Nevertheless, you will regain focus here. because the male, warlike power of Mars, combined with the daring of the lion, which we associate with Leo, produces an incredible force and impact. And this fight, it's going to be carried out impeccably. Now, the strength that you have here is really something that you have drawn upon from out of the stock of your personal experience to date. You have overcome things before. Here you are. You have a few scars, but here you are. And this is also a time when you are learning from past experiences. Now, if you do apply the lessons of experience, you're going to be able to take further risks with a lot greater awareness. Now, numerologically, I'm just looking at this number 7 here as well. Now, this can think of you, or some introspection that is looking inside of yourself and re-examining where you really do have your strength. But it can also refer to choices, a responsibility, unsurprisingly, because of the leadership that you have, maybe uncovering some secrets, but more importantly, of you regaining control. Now, it might be, for example, that in a relationship setting, you may have been facing some conditions where you feel that you are running out of energy and ideas as to how to keep sustaining it. Or it could be things going on around your work and things that are occurring to you, or like getting in your private life where really you're getting to the end of your rope, you're getting to the end of your tether and it's about to change. Being true to yourself includes standing up for your own truth, even in the face of immense resistance. So trust your power. You've got to assert yourself at all costs and be ready to accept the consequences. And also understand this, be aware that whatever fears have prevented you until now from asserting yourself, they are in the past. They no longer exist. Show me the past. Now, in some respects, I do get the feeling here that you will come to the conclusion that where there are rules, they're made to be broken. So be strong enough now to live life on your own terms and never, ever apologize for it. Go against the grain. Refuse to conform. Take that road less traveled instead of the well-beaten path, and just laugh in the face of adversity. Because, although, as I mentioned, you have a few scars, you are more than your scars. And whatever occurred in your history, remember this: you are not your history. You are today. Who you were in the past is not who you are today, and nor is it the potential of who you may be tomorrow. Remember, if you have a thought, it can be done. If you think of a problem being overcome, it will be overcome. But if you do not believe that hearts can bloom suddenly bigger, and that love can open like a flower out of even the hardest places, then I'm afraid that for you the road will be long and brown and barren, and you will have trouble finding the light. But if you do believe, then you already know all about magic. Do you know, the music of hope is everywhere. But to hear it, you need to ignore the white noise of life's hassles. Again, I'm getting this idea, must be some reason for it, of the past. Now, try as we might, nobody can change the past, yet your history does not have to hold you hostage. Don't allow it to hold you hostage. You can't change things said and done to you, nor can you undo and change what you've done to other people. There is no do-over, unfortunately. What we can choose to do, however, is grow and take ownership of our mistakes and share our history and experiences to heal ourselves and others. We can also choose to forgive ourselves, importantly, as a first step. And then you can forgive others. And you can also use your experiences to raise yourself while giving hope and inspiration to other people. You can grow from adversity, and you can choose to let go of victimhood. Oh, excuse me, I just brained myself on that. What's this got to say? The Chariot. That's interesting, isn't it? Here's a guy surfing. Well, I spent all my childhood surfing. Now I spend one session a year with a plastic surgeon to get skin cancers cut out of my face. Fortunately, it's a good plastic surgeon, or I'd look like a pirate. Now here we have the sign of Cancer. And here's another one of these Hebrew letters. I'm just having a look at that. If I'm not mistaken, that is the letter of Hath. Now, Hath represents for you this month unlimited, infinite possibilities. It is undifferentiated substance and energy containing all of the possibilities that could come into being. And you can choose what possibilities you do want to have come into being. It's like a revolving gateway, a power to enter into a higher level, to enter into the mysteries of your soul, and then also to return to worldly consciousness. Just having a look at this figure again, here is the guy with the Holy Grail normally associated with this card. There's the shell of Cancer, the crab, these two horses in water. That's funny. Oh, they are what's called together hippocampi. Hippocampi is the top half of the horse is, well, the top half is a horse, and the bottom half of the animal is a porpoise, is a dolphin, rather. And these things were said to draw Poseidon along as well. Now, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the Greek word for dolphin is delphis, and interestingly, the Greek word for womb is delplis. So delphis, dolphin, comes from the base word delplis, meaning womb, which actually ties it in really nicely with Cancer, which I always associate, is probably the most nurturing of the signs, and which I also always seem to associate with the development taking place within the womb. Now, this is a turning point for you. You overcome, you see. You go on to great success, and everything is available to you. Well, let's go through it. Let me unpack that without ruining the plot for you that I can see here, just in these energies here. Look, this is a new beginning. It's a change this month for the good. Some introspection, which we were just talking about. There's triumph in the face of adversity, which is also telling you what is happening here. So you do overcome these ghosts of the past. And you will be coming to the point where you overcome problems, I think, successfully. I suspect that what is going to be happening with you is that you will be now looking to say, what are all the possible consequences pulled out of this unlimited potential? What are the possible consequences before you dare to set that surfboard in motion on a new beginning? Because once you have chosen to start, there won't be any turning back, and nothing's going to be able to stop you Now, this is all about new beginnings. It can also relate to a journey that you might take, or some new phase, as in a relationship, a living situation, a job, new phase in your life. Everything's going to require exact examination and preparation first, but once all the groundwork is done, the new start should not be put off unnecessarily, because everything here is pointing towards really favorable developments. You will have the courage to act, and you'll have success over previous negative patterns, previous thoughts, and previous views of yourself. Understand this. Say this as a mantra to yourself always. I am enough. I've always been enough. I always will be enough. I am lovable. I always have been lovable. I always will be lovable. Now, the oncoming changes really promise to lead you into a very positive phase of your life. So be ready. Ready yourself. Put your affairs in order. Examine the possibilities. I think you're going to be leaving a lot behind. Now, you might actually already know what areas of your life are going to be changing, and are you ready to get rid of the old and bring in the new? This is a good time for you to look for or to create for yourself a loving, secure environment, and there you can plan this journey. I think your body might also need attention and activity now, if I'm not mistaken. Say this to yourself, though, because it's definitely true. I motivate others positively. I am responsible for what I cause, and I accomplish things really well and with ease, and I am putting my life in order and preparing for the new beginning. And what will be showing up? Well, the first card that you drew is this of success. The Six of Discs, the moon in Taurus. Let me just have a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, kind of harmoniously arranged. 1, 2 knots on this and an N, 3, and the same there. So 2 3s are 6. These are 2 six-sided diagrams. This is the bow of Artemis, and her brother Apollo, the sun god, used to have a lyre that had these strings on it, if I'm not mistaken. And here is the moon here, and Apollo, of course, was the god of the sun. So I assume my assessment of that must be correct. The moon in Taurus. Well, this is great because the moon rules Taurus. Is exalted in Taurus, rather. The moon rules Cancer. My apologies. Now, that's a really good sign. But of course, the moon is changeable. It changes. There are different phases of the moon. It comes, it goes. So there's going to be here for you the outward manifestation of your inner wealth, which is leading to success and transformation here. Now, there's a generosity here. I think you'll be paying things forward, probably getting a financial boost coming your way. There could be the grant of a scholarship for those making application to the welfare system. You'll be able to obtain good things as a result. And the moon here is nurturing the material desires of Taurus. Taurus loves things. Now, in addition, I think there's the chance here that you may be involved in some sort of profitable adventure of some nature. This is also a reminder to you to remember the successes in your life to date and to build upon them. Certainly there's a great desire for success here. So be open to your success. It's no less than a gift you can learn to accept thankfully and humbly. And remember that real success only comes once you have learned to serve. Because success under these conditions really enriches all the levels of your being. So what does success mean for you at the moment? Visualize it as precisely as you can before you go to sleep each night. See what it looks like, taste it, smell it, touch it. and say to yourself, my self-acceptance, my self-love, and my self-confidence, they are the keys to real success. Now, that success is being just multiplied by this energy that's here, which is I don't need to go into the artwork of it because we don't have enough time. So let's have a look at this. Now, I will say this, that I see this has got Gemini all over it, actually. And I think that Taurus and Aries could be important to you as well. This is the beginning now of something that's really tangible. There's prosperity and growth, material abundance, improving finances. Here's this idea of a promotion or a pay rise. Here's certainly a lot of good luck. And again, I'm getting unexpected value coming to your way. The overriding message that's coming up to me from this for you is that there is nothing you cannot be, there is nothing you cannot do, there is nothing you cannot have. You are the most magnificent, the most wondrous, the most beautiful creature that God has ever created. For who could reject such wondrous magnificence? Yet you do not know who you are, and you sometimes feel that you're a great deal less. All you see in the world is what your idea of it is. Remember, throw away the rule book, write your own rules, be your own rule maker, and only you can assess how you are doing. Life will take off for you when you choose for it to. A thought becomes an idea. An idea becomes a word. Say the word out loud. Words have power and they echo all throughout eternity. And a word becomes an action. And if you're going to do it, then start. And having started, go all the way. Do it. Do it. Do it. Seize the opportunities in front of you now. Rejoice in them and let no power on earth take them from you. What a fascinating spread of cards for you this month. Made so much better for you being here. I told you those cards were good, did I not? Aren't they fascinating, the imagery that's on them? I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you, because I was delighted by it, I've got to say. Now, unless I see you privately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. Until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. And until then, it's bye for now.